Welcome to the panel again. They always say for maybe a team to win the flag to be there, you got to get a soft draw, you got to have a good draw, which I personally don't believe in that. So Dylan, I'm sure you've looked at the West Coast Eagles draw. What are your thoughts about the draw this year?
Probably one of the few people that do really like the draw. We got some marquee teams coming to some big Victorian clubs coming to Perth to play in the new stadium. So you got Essendon on a Thursday night, you got Geelong in round 3, so Richmond coming over as well. So it's always good to get the premiers coming to Perth. The new stadium, you're going to pack it out. So I'm a fan of the fixtures. You got that Thursday night game, which isn't a crowd pleaser, but it's a big one for the club because it's a standalone game, so it's good exposure for the club. Sunday games, there's a lot of them, and can understand in terms of our country members, we've got a lot of them. It's a logistical nightmare for them, but I mean, we've had that fixture for a very long time, and they've been able to navigate around that. In that instance, 4 games in Victoria sucks for us, considering we don't play well there as it is. We've got 2 games at the MCG, so a bit more exposure there would have been nice. Don't like the Tasmanian trip. 2 games in Sydney, I mean, it's all right.
I'm with Dylan. I reckon draws shouldn't really matter. If you're good enough to win, you should be able to win anywhere. I don't understand why they send a WA team to Hobart. I just can't see the logic in that. When you got 10 Victorian teams, they could probably capitalise on the market better over there, especially in Hobart and Launceston. I didn't realise we had 2 games in Sydney. Sydney's a hard game to win, the SCG. So I just can't see the draws being good or bad, have a outbearing on where you finish at the end of the year, because Richmond, they finished 13th and won the flag. No one would have expected Sydney and Hawthorn to be 0-4 in the first 4 games, and their draws were like ours last year. Yep. But in the end, Sydney got up, and look what happened with them, So the draw shouldn't matter. If you're good enough to win, you can win. And the unfortunate thing is we've got to travel because we're the furthest away.
I think you pointed on it too. With clubs come up, clubs will rise, clubs will fall. So you had Richmond, no one expecting them to play finals, no one expecting them to finish top 4. So everyone would have penciled that in as a relatively easy win. Whereas now they're a hard win. They might fall again and they might be an easy kill again next year. Who knows?
All right, strap yourselves in for this one, ladies and gentlemen, because no, it's not a good fixture. No, it's not a good draw. I love my AFL footy. I love the Eagles, but it is a biased, unfair competition. How can we travel the most out of any other club and see you say, yeah, it's a fair draw? As far as I'm concerned, there's struggling clubs in Melbourne that are getting multi-million-dollar payouts every year from the AFL. I think just this year alone, St Kilda played North Melbourne. They had under 18,000 people at Etihad, or the G, I believe it was Etihad. Well, as far as I'm concerned, we've got a new stadium, 60,000 seat capacity. They should be forced to sell a game to Freo or to Eagles. We'll pack the crowd out for them. It'll be their home game. They'll make money from the entrance fees and all that because it's their home game. Not only that, Freo and Eagles have the money to actually buy that home game. If 2 Melbourne clubs did that to the Eagles, 2 Melbourne clubs did that to the Dockers, that would just go so far in stabilising Victorian footy, helping the AFL not having to dish out handouts, so they love their money, they'll get more money, and we'll be laughing. It'll just make it such an even competition. I say that tongue-in-cheek because I realistically don't think that will happen, but that's what should happen. If you can't fill a stadium out, we'll do it for you.
By making the fixtures even, like you say, the only way you can do it is 17 games. But like you said, it's money. It's money driven. You have 17 games. You play home once a year. You play away the next year. You can scrap the JLT series, whatever you want to. You could have your week off, then you have your finals. That's 21 games. And then if you want to make more money, you bring State of Origin at the end of the year. After the grand final, you play a 3-round game carnival. there you get your money back. Then that's even. But that'll never happen because it's Victorian-centric and that's the way it goes. And like I said, never going to have an uneven fixture. I mean, an even fixture, but it can happen if they really want to put their heads to it, but it'll never happen. But unfortunately, we're the furthest team away, so we're going to have to travel. I reckon that in the 90s, it made us a better team. We bonded.
Wasn't it 91 we travelled 6 weeks in a row before playing Hawthorn in the grand final, which obviously we lost, but Malthouse always said that built that team to go back the next year to win that 92 flag. Bring them on. Who cares?
It's very hard to please everyone. So the fixtures, every team will be able to say, it's not good for us, it's good for the other ones. But guess what? As they say, if you're good enough, you should be able to win all those games. Thank you so much, guys.